It is an absolute honor to welcome a true trailblazer in hip hop to our show today. MC Lyte is a name that resonates with fans and artists with decades. Started with her groundbreaking debut album in 1988. She has made history. I call her a game changer
Mm.
because if you're a true game changer, the game has been changed after
Mm.
you. Right?
Right.
Yeah, 100%. So, game changer is
Absolutely.
not a moment. It is something that has been done. Okay.
Thank
Being the first full solo album, releasing the first full solo album by a female rapper.
you.
Beyond that, she's a business owner, founded Sunny Girl Inc. I also found that she had a accessories company at one point, Chi-Tail out in LA, selling
Mm.
belts and sunglasses. Okay, I did some digging. Um, so that was fun to find.
Mhm.
But Sunny Girl Inc. was founded in 1997, a global entertainment firm specializing in artist management, development, and production and creative consulting. Through this venture, she has nurtured and elevated countless talents, continuing to shape the industry from behind the scenes. And now, after more than a decade, MC Lyte, that's right, y'all, is
Mhm.
set to release her highly anticipated studio album, One of One, which she is exactly that, on Friday. Is that right, MC Lyte?
Oh, yeah. There's a new difference. There's a new difference. Um, Let me tell you about the process of
Oh, okay.
of
Talk to me about the
doing
process.
yeah, the process of doing a record, especially when you use samples. So you need to make sure that everything is cleared so you don't run into an issue like I did once upon a time with Poor Georgie. Toto
Mm.
took 50% of that song, and Joe Beck, that represented the Diana Ross sample and the Michael Jackson sample, took 50%. So I made no publishing and no writers on Poor Georgie. Now, do I regret that? No. I mean, I'm happy that we put the song out. I'm happy that it was able to touch people. However, had I handled the business right and those around me helped me handle the business correctly, I wouldn't have to tell that story. So,
Wow.
yes, clearing samples. August 23rd is the single called Thank You, and September 20th is the album.
Now this album features oh so we okay, Date Smooth, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
This album features an extraordinary lineup though. We have Common, Queen Latifah, Big Daddy Kane,
Mhm.
Raheem Devine, Q-Tip, Stevie Wonder. So I'm curious, after all this time, why release an album now? What inspired you to get back into the booth?
Well, I was challenged by LL. He told me I need to do it, and he said that I was scared, and I said, "No, I'm not." And then I just started thinking with because I had always been recording, but I started thinking with, "Okay, we're going to release this time. So let me work on it with the intention of an actual release."
Okay. So the new single that you just mentioned, Thank You, is going to be with Mary Mary and Money Long, which
Yeah,
Money Long, her voice is amazing.
yeah,
But what a matchup. So
I
like what
know.
inspired this track? And what can your fans look forward to?
Oh, goodness. Well, it's just my journey and why I'm here. It's actually the first song on the actual album. And so for me, it was just about, okay, how can I dig in and explain my beginnings? And so that's what Thank You is all about. And it's just showing gratitude to God, to my source of power. And of course, with Mary Mary, actually, Money was the first one to get on it. And
Mm,
so she blessed me. We've met a couple of times at award ceremonies, and we were like, okay, well, we got to do something. We got to do something. And especially after she dropped that 50 questions. Did you
yeah.
do that? Yeah, when she dropped that, I was like, oh, you got some rapper in you, girl. And she was like, I be playing around. I was like, well, I'm gonna send you something and see if you want to get on it. And I sent it to her. And when I got it back, I thought she was gonna be rapping, but she actually blessed me with those vocals. And
Wow.
and then to have Mary Mary on it, it just took it to a whole nother level. So I'm just happy to have both entities rocking with me on that.
Well, it sounds like we're going to be moved by the whole album because there's another single. King with Queen Latifah. Now,
Yeah.
you know what? People, in our minds, you and Queen Latifah are like best friends. We don't even know if that's real.
Right,
But
right,
in the minds of the audience, y'all good friends, but in our minds, you're best friends. All right.
right,
What was it
right.
like to work with her again? What was it like to,
It
and
was
why
great.
this song? Why this song for men?
Right.
Mm.
Well, a couple of things with that. She and I have never recorded a record together that was released.
Oh,
The
wow.
song that you hear with Brandy, none of us were in the studio at the same time. We all dropped our lyrics at different times. We didn't know what the other one was going to talk about. They both she and Yo-Yo had the opportunity to hear me before they dropped their vocals. But I was the first one to record. So I didn't know what they was going to put down or what the topic was. I didn't know anything.
Oh,
But
wow.
this time, King was a record that I had already laid the vocals to. And so when Warren and I sat and thought about who would be best to rock that hook with us, he said, "What about Queen Latifah?" And I was like, I was getting ready to say, "What about Queen Latifah?" And it just so happened she was in Los Angeles. So we were like, "Come down to the studio and bless us." And she did.
What was it like being in the studio together? Like, I can't even
Oh,
imagine that energy. Did you say BTS? Like, are we gonna get some footage around some of the album creation?
you know what? She got there about 11 p.m. and nobody felt like we need to be taped right now. But there are some photos of us in the studio, and we were goofy and playing around. So I don't even know if those will even see the light of day. But it's always fun because we're always thinking melody and harmony and what can we say here. And about maybe 4 or 5 months prior, well, no, more than that, because it was last year at the 50th celebration that the Grammys threw for hip hop. We went to the studio with Talib Kweli that night. And so that was the night that we spent hours, what we gonna put here? What we gonna put here? And this is for his record.
Mm.
It was produced by Large Professor, as a matter of fact. But anyway, once we finished that session, she was like, "We got to do this more often." And I was like, "Yeah, we do." And then we were able to do it for King.
I imagine like being in your jeans, it also feels sort of therapeutic in a way. It feels just like celebratory to get in there
Hmm.
together, like
Yeah.
that energy flowing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, totally. It feels like home. It feels like,
Yeah.
any studio feels like, okay, how can we make this feel like an intimate setting? But then when you put people in it that you actually know,
Hmm.
it feels even more, warm like a fireplace, like we're about to really do something big.
Speaking of feeling like home, you're about to receive the Entertainer's Key to the City in Brooklyn. How does
Yeah.
it feel to be honored in your hometown? You're also going to give a performance in Wingate Park. So, what should people expect?
No, well, it feels good, first of all, to come back home, to be recognized by the city and the mayor and, everyone that came together to pull this together. Um, it's kind of surreal, as a matter of fact. And
Mm,
I have been told we've moved from Wingate to the Coney Island Amphitheater for
okay.
reasons beyond our control with the weather. But then somebody just said it might clear up in time, but I don't know that we'll go back to Wingate simply because the grounds will be too wet and soggy, and I don't want people,
Yeah.
having a hard time getting around in the park. So we'll be at Coney Island, and it's gonna be all about having a good time that day. We're coming to celebrate EPMD, Rakim,
Wow.
Tretch, Lola Brooke. We've got some surprises that are coming as well. So we're gonna have a good time on MC Lyte Day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of surprises, are there any surprise guests on
Mhm.
the album that you can reveal for us or that we should be expecting?
Surprise. Well, I think you know the lineup, right?
Yeah, yeah, we got. I think we
Yeah.
got. I think we got most of the lineup
I
written.
think one of who I'm excited about, and we really had to work to get him on here, is Stevie Wonder. Uh,
Mm.
he's on a song with Common and I. And when I called Common and told him, "Look who I'm tell you who we about to get on this," he was like, "Word, we gonna do that?" So it's great. It's like, mixing a nice little gumbo up together because people are showing up on tracks with other people that they didn't know they were going to be on tracks with. You know, from the last album, Legend, we had a song called Last Time that I had Coco from SWV on and Faith. And they were
Mm,
in the studio at the same time, but the engineers made it sound like it. So even when you listen to it, it's like, oh, wow, Coco and Faith. Like, have they ever been on a song together? Yeah.
right. Not only that, I mean, you're knocking out of the park on so many levels. You also got a children's book coming out that you co-wrote with Van Van, which I think is
Yeah.
amazing.
Rhyme,
What inspired this? What's the title? Do you have the title of it yet?
rhyme time, adventures of rhyme time with MC Lyte and Van Van.
Wow. What do you want readers to get out of it?
Well, you know, it is a children's book. And so we just want children to know that if you fall down, it's okay. We're looking for you to get back up. And it's okay. Don't be so disappointed in yourself if you make a mistake or if there's an error made in some area of your life. It's not the end of the world. And I think because with children, their worlds are so small, it just
Mhm.
feels like a mistake is polarized and or magnified. And we just want to dispel that. Everyone makes mistakes and it's okay to start again.
Mm.
Now,
And
I
I
ain't
think
talking about no fire. Don't you go starting no fire somewhere. I just mean, you know, like regular mistakes.
But I think you're sharing so much of your life over the course of everything that you created. I'm really curious. I know we got to get ready to go soon, but like, where does that inspiration to continue to share your life, your journey come from?
I just see what it does for people. You know, they're not shy at all of stepping forward and saying to me, "Oh my goodness, this song helped me get through my college days," or, you know, this song right here was my sister's favorite and she played it till it ran out and now she's no longer here, but she connected me with you. And so she's the reason why I'm familiar with who MC Lyte is. So there's all sorts of
Wow.
stories that I've heard over the years that let me know I can't stop. I got to keep going.
What do you want your legacy to be?
That I cared,
Mm,
that I had an organization called Hip Hop Sisters that put kids through school that wanted to further their education with college and or university. Yeah, the good stuff. That's what I,
yeah.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things when you talk about your impact, and I don't know how many people have told you this before, and it's beyond music for me personally, is having a raspy voice. Because
You
I was
got one.
so afraid my whole life
Mhm.
of having a raspy voice that
Mm,
people would say I sound like a man or like, oh, you sound, I was, and so instantly enough, I actually spent time like growing up lifting my voice higher
mhm.
and through that actually damaged some of my voice. And so when I hear your voice, when I hear as the voice of God or like over the tracks, I'm like,
Right.
yes, that is what we need.
Well, thank you. You know what's so funny is I have been told at one point or another that I needed to not lean on my chords. So I'm going to show you what that sounds like.
Mm.
Learning to not lean on your chords takes a lot of work. And
Mm.
so what has become over the years is I've become a really lazy speaker. And so I let everything sit at the bottom because it takes so much work to keep it up high. And this will avoid you leaning on your actual vocal cords. I'm leaning on them right now.
Mm.
So
And
that's interesting that you said you did damage by lifting up. And they said I've done damage by leaning on.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, and then I think what's so interesting about it is it's almost like you learning how to talk all over again.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, because
It's
you're a
crazy.
vocal athlete,
Yeah.
essentially,
Mhm.
with the work that you do. Like you're a vocal athlete. You're always speaking, sharing, you're speaking for sometimes an hour or two at a time.
Mm.
Time
Like
goes by, you don't even
today,
realize it.
we've got
Yeah.
press all week, and then I have a performance on Saturday.
How do you
So,
prepare
yeah,
after?
it's gonna be interesting, because I haven't done this in a long time. This is like, record label stuff where you're out, you're promoting, promoting, performing, performing, promoting, promoting. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to bringing the best though for the performance.
Well, I'm honored to have you here with me today. I really, really appreciate you taking the time out to stop
Mm.
by and do this part of your press run. Right here with us on Sirius XM Urban View. Our audience is gonna love it.
Absolutely.
Your album, One of One, will be out August 29th.
Nope.
Yep.
September 20th.
Okay, that's me bringing it out sooner. That's
Right,
me being
yeah,
like,
that's you want it
let me.
soon. September 20th for the album. Thank you. August 23rd.
Okay, August 23rd will
Yeah,
be
let's just say August 23rd is a new single. Boom.
boom. There we go. So you'll get to hear something for the first time and just be anticipation into the next drop day
Yes,
happens.
yes, totally.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you
Well,
for the platform, sis. I appreciate you.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.